Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF Microwave Update series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Eric Heim. In this episode, we're going to take a look at our March test and measurement issue, which also has a special focus section on cable and connectors. And the cover feature is very good. It goes into 6G territory with a test bed that's doing measurements at 285 gigahertz with a whopping 30 gigahertz of bandwidth. So this is really new territory that the authors from Keysight are learning how to make the measurements and also see how far the signal can travel with good quality. And in this experiment, they achieved up to 8 meters in this setup. So Eric, what else do we have for technical features?
Thanks, Pat. We had an interesting article co-authored by Booten Electronics and Empower RF Systems that looks at the causes of pulse droop and overshoot, along with how to correct for these issues in high power, so kilowatt type GaN-based power amplifiers. And this is becoming increasingly important as radar and EW applications go to longer pulse width solid state PAs. We've also got an article from Samtech with some good tips on aligning compression connectors at millimeter wave frequencies and how to diagnose when they aren't aligned properly. And as applications continue to go higher in frequency, it got some good techniques to keep designers out of trouble. And with phased arrays seemingly becoming ubiquitous, we've got a good article from Analog Devices that addresses some of the challenges and solutions for properly laying out and heat sinking PCB-based planar arrays.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, we have a special focus section on cable and connectors within this issue. And the featured story for that section is written by Earl Lum, and it covers RF SMP board-to-board connector market. And he analyzes where the market's heading and some of the main players there, so it's a good piece to check out. What do we have for the other feature article within the cables and connectors section?
We had an excellent article from Times Microwave on RF interconnects for quantum computing. And it provides a bit of background on quantum computing, along with some good insight into some of the interconnect challenges posed by quantum computing. The article then describes how Times is incorporating materials suitable for quantum requirements into their interconnect solutions.
And so turning to the news, there's a sudden plethora of acquisitions taking place really quickly within a couple of weeks. RFMW announced that their intention to acquire MRC Gigacop and MRC Components in Germany, and that kind of expands their presence in the European market. Hurley is joining Case, and that expands the company's footprint in the RF market. MACOM announced that its acquisition of Linearizer Communications Group in New Jersey. NI announced the acquisition of SET GmbH, and together these companies are going to reduce the time to market for differentiated solutions and accelerate semiconductor to transportation supply chain convergence with power electronics. And then also Wireless Logic acquired Singapore-headquartered Blue Wireless. That strengthens Wireless Logic's global footprint, their service offering, and routes into those markets. Infineon and GaN Systems agreed to combine, and that's an agreement where Infineon is going to acquire GaN Systems for $830 million. And finally, Reliasat Limited has agreed to the acquisition of Auralis Technologies. So a ton going on in the mergers and acquisitions area. Eric, what did you see in the news?
Yeah, that's all interesting. Boeing announced that they'd successfully demonstrated their Protected Tactical Enterprise service. And that's important because it gives the U.S. Space Force a ground-based anti-jamming SATCOM capability over commercial satellites. And in keeping with our test and measurement theme, Keysight and McGill University announced what they claim is a world record of 1.6 terabits per second O-band coherent transmission at 10 kilometers using distributed feedback lasers. So that's significant for the speed, obviously, but also for the reach for coherent transmission. And that'll have implications for data center transmission, 5G, EI, and reduced energy consumption.
And so turning to events, I recently returned from Mobile World Congress Barcelona, which was really well attended. They were expecting 80,000, and I think they probably got more than that. So looks like trade shows are really coming back strong this year. So we expect to see a great turnout at IMS in San Diego in June. And the main topics there were the potential of 5G private networks, also 5G non-terrestrial networks, Certainly, green and energy efficient devices and networks were a big topic, and also the 5G reduced capacity or RedCap devices, especially for IoT applications, were all very hot topics there. Several of these were being featured because of the release 17 of 5G has enabled these, and there were many companies also looking at 6G, so there's a lot of research going on in that area. Keysight and Rohde & Schwarz both had great demos in all these areas. There also was a hot topic is definitely the metaverse, so a lot of virtual reality and augmented reality. And the best demo I saw was Analog Devices. They had this anatomy virtual reality setup where you could actually reach into the body, pull out an organ, and see it in 3D, so you could really visualize it up close and then put it back and pick another one. So I have a short video of me interacting with that in Barcelona. And then on the high-frequency side, there were some really impressive setups. Fraunhofer was showing at 300 gigahertz, 100 gigabit per second link, and Fujitsu was showing 250 to 300 gigahertz setup, and that was using their own indium phosphide devices, which were putting out 7 milliwatts of power. And two interesting areas that several companies are pursuing over there were transparent antennas and reconfigurable intelligence services. So these are both kind of areas we'll probably explore editorially because they're becoming more popular. And Greener Wave has developed a metamaterial structure for IRIS, and they're showing that they can redirect a 5G signal at any angle with only 1 dB loss. And Sumitomo in the SK Telecom group and KT Telecom were also showing RIS experimental results. So definitely an area that we'll explore in the future. I did a big summary article of my times there and also included videos and pictures, so you can check that out online. Eric, how about you?
Well, on March 22nd, we'll be hosting the panel, Will Flat Panel Beam Steering Arrays Meet the SATCOM Challenge? That'll be just after the Satellite Show in Washington, D.C. Our April panels include who has the highest power GaN power amplifiers, in balancing performance and SWaP-C in next generation high dynamic range digitizers in aerospace and defense with ADI BAE experts. So keep an eye out and please register for those. And please note the IMS 2023 in San Diego has open registration. So go to ims-ieee.org to sign up and make your travel plans for sunny Southern California. That wraps up this episode. Our sponsor is RFMW, a pure play technical distributor of RF and microwave products. So remember, as a member of the industry, a subscription to Microwave Journal is free. So visit our site and subscribe today if you aren't already a reader. And thanks for watching. And please join us next time for Frequency Matters.